situations, all problems that we go through are not permanent. And God always wants his power to be felt. God is one man whose weakness is he cannot stay in a place where his presence is not felt. We still have power to cause that not to happen. Once you have God, you feel like you know, you agree with me that, Prophet, you are right, because I and God are one. So if you are telling me to go and talk to God, where do you want me to go if God is here? There's nowhere to go. He's here with me. Where do you want me to go? So they tell Moses that go and talk to God, and Moses is standing there saying, where to? If me and God, we are one. So if God is in me, I can hear his voice is talking through me. Where do you want me to go? You want to see Moses with these garments walking for kilometers going to God, yet God is in him and he is in the Lord. That's religious. So many times problems around us have made us to talk to God instead of talking to the problem. A prayer that works is the prayer that you direct to the problem. If you hurt yourself on the knee, they don't apply betadine at the back. They go where the problem is. That's where they apply chemical. Where the scar is, that's where they apply. They don't apply somewhere else. Right where the problem is where they apply. We are running away from problems. That's why we are always captured by demons around us. Because we'll be on our way to the Lord. I'm going to the Lord. I'm going to report these demons. On your way, you are beaten. Right now, from Witbank to Pretoria, you can be beaten in between. If you think God is in Pretoria, then you say, okay, let me drive my car to Pretoria. If you think God is Johannesburg, let me drive my car to Johannesburg. In between, remember, crazy snakes are everywhere in the wilderness. If you are beaten in between, you are in trouble, you die. Yet, you can deal with your current environment. Your space where you breathe from. You can minister to your space. Your space can be demon-free. When you are walking, wherever you are going, snakes, they know that this one's eyes are on the paw. Tonight, I want you to understand that at this situation, the snakes, the serpents were from God. And God told Moses that the way out of this situation is when you make something that looks like mine. Put it up so that it will be easy for them to see it. Imagine now having a leader who don't have a strategy. He doesn't have his own serpent. Where are you going to look at? Moses had his own serpent, people of God. We talk about snakes and this and that. We are not talking about snakes for witchcraft here. We are talking about a skill that he had. God said, when you are beaten, that's when you look. When you are hungry, that's when you eat. When you are beaten, that's when you look the serpent that God told Moses to make was not working before you are beaten. It only works when you are beaten first. Beaten by what? By God's serpent. God gave, if a huge number of people were healed by Moses' serpent, it means a huge number of people were beaten by God's serpent. God is the one who told his serpent to beat people. One word from God was going to remove the appetite from the snakes. To be normal. But God said, I will leave them to beat them, to bite them. I will leave them, but you make on your own. God there was demonstrating to us the setup of the earth. That's the genuine setup of the earth. If I'm going to change my teaching, my statement in one of the teachings next time, ignore it. Take what I'm saying now. That is the setup of the earth. There are problems planted even by God here that He is not going to remove them. Even up to now, God is still creating problems. I don't know how many thousands of years after Adam was created, Jesus came and he met a man who was born blind. Born blind. Who made the man to be blind? God. And Jesus said the truth about this man is that his father did not sin, his mother did not sin. But God in heaven made sure that this man loses sight for a reason, so that the power of God can be seen. Whose power? Whose power? So now, can we see that we've got one reason why God is not going to remove problems from around? His power will not be seen. And God always wants His power to be felt. If you don't accept Him with your mouth and confess Him as your Lord and personal Savior, He doesn't get into you. He's one man who cannot stay where His power. So if you want to stay where, if you want God to spend more time with you, always acknowledge His works in your life and He will stay. If you want to lose God in your life, ignore what He's doing for you. You look at a blessing that God gave you. It can be your husband. You look at your husband. You don't just see the problems around him or what to do, but you just thank God that God, at least you gave me somebody. You appreciate Him for that. You increase God's presence in your life just by appreciating what He gave you. You look at your wife, you thank God for that. You're acknowledging the work of God. Because the reason why we've got so many problems, it is because people are not acknowledging His power. So some has to be born blind, because those that are born seeing are not thanking God for sight. Am I making sense here? Am I teaching you how to survive? I'm saying now, if you don't want to be affected, if you don't want to be a record tomorrow, learn to thank God for eyes, because you can see. Otherwise, God will give you a blind child. And that blind child, you will suffer as he's growing up and receive prayer at the age of 30. At the age of 30, the way you are going to thank God is the same way you are supposed to thank God if your child was born with eyes. You look at your child, you test the sight, and you can see that my child can see. That alone, you're supposed to thank God for that, that I gave birth to something that can see. You avoid the future problem, because tomorrow God will come and say, you have lived on freelance for a long time. I want you to know that I'm around. How is he going to do that? Crazy serpents is the way. So many people who don't acknowledge the presence of God in their lives find themselves in problems. Tomorrow they thank God. That's why we will never have a testimony of one testifying of health. We always testify of healing. Having someone who can stand and say, the whole month of January, I never feel sick. I'm all right. We'll never have that. We always thank God when we get sick and be healed. Every other person whom you saw got healing, God's agenda was not to heal the person, but to receive glory out of that healing. What does God gain when he heals you? And what does he lose when he leaves you to die? God remains God when people are being buried every Saturday. Right now as we speak, God is still God, but people are dying everywhere. In this minute, there are millions of deaths taking place right now, but God never turned to be Satan. He is still God. Which means if God leaves you to die, you lose nothing. But if God heals you, he gains something that you are supposed to gain even when you're not falling sick. If you want to survive in danger, train your eyes to identify something that can lead to giving God praise and give him right away. That's how you can survive from danger. How many times here when I stand here and I start by saying to you, before I ask you to sit down, I start by saying thank you for coming. Why am I saying that? Why am I thanking you for coming? It's because I know that if I don't do that, I can create serpents here. I can have a church that bites me. To avoid that, every time when I see you here, I appreciate you. I appreciate you here. I appreciate you for being here. Because I've appreciated you for being here, I've removed venom, poison from you. If you bite me tomorrow, I won't be affected. I won't be rushed to the hospital to be removed the poison in one, because I'm being beaten by something that I once thanked God for. The only person who can affect you and attack you to death is the person that you never thanked God for. That's why private relationships always lead to danger, because they are not exposed to people, even to God. But a marriage where you put on a white gown and you are declared husband and wife before people, once there's a problem in there, it can be fixed. Counselors can jump in and assist you. Aunties, pastors, and this and that, elders can come and help you. But anything private, anything that you never thanked God for, can kill you. Because if you never thank God for it, it simply means you kept the poison in it. I'm talking about serpents. How to survive in the presence of crazy serpents. They might not just be serpents. Relationships are some of the serpents. One year, January to December, you celebrate crossover. You don't look at what your husband bought for you. It can be a bottle of perfume that he bought for you. You take it back unto him. Say, my husband, for 2 months in this year, I was smelling good. What are you doing? You are removing the poison from him. The next time he comes, doesn't have poison. There are marriages that are poisonous, that everything, every week, twice a month, every day, twice a week, there's always poison being exchanged in the house because of failure to appreciate each other's efforts. If I buy something for you, I'm not just doing it. It's an expression. Now, you receiving, if you are not taught how to receive, don't receive. Because wrong receiving might increase venom in the giver. Women, there is a way you receive a gift. It can be a gift of 50 rand. You receive it. You must train your hands. When your husband is at work, rehearse on how even to, you stand on a mirror, your facial expression must be a 5,000 rand expression. It doesn't matter you're being given something for 50 rand. What are you doing? You are removing poison. You are creating a facial expression that causes you to receive more. Don't think when the giver gives, he closes his eyes to give. Husbands can close their eyes when they buy. They can go for an expensive gift. They buy when their eyes are closed, but when they give, they don't close their eyes. They open to see whether you are trained to receive or you are trained to increase venom in him. Tomorrow, my husband, can I have this next time? Why is he saying next time? Check, there's a gift that you never asked for. He brought it, which was a test. Right now, every request you have in the house is postponed. Like national budget. Everything is being postponed. That we'll build bridges next time. We'll give you clean water next time. We'll do this. Everything is next time. Because there was once a previous time. A previous time determines whether your next request will be accepted instantly or it will be postponed. Venom. I want to tell you a secret. No man can budget when it comes to his wife. Your wife is one point where budget ceases to matter. You can take your last note and sacrifice it on her, and you are the only one who knows that this is a sacrifice. Upon delivery, if the mama is not trained to receive sacrifices, then she must teach the husband to give more to God, who knows how to receive sacrifices, than to give to the wife. The husband who must practice to give more here, where there's a prophet who thank people for coming to church, than to give to a woman who doesn't know how to receive a gift. You know your husband's salary. You know the price of a gift he bought you. You thank him once and that's it. After 2 months remind him of a gift that he bought 2 months ago. Men can be poisonous, I'm telling you. I don't know about women, I'm not a woman. Wait for a ladies' conference. Wait for ladies' conference. Listen, men can be poisonous. That is a snake that I'm going to remove today. That one. Men can, even if you are not married, thank God that you are here. Listen, my daughter, men can be poisonous. Oh. Hey, my husband doesn't do this for, I know men. Even Satan was never evil at first. Every man starts as an angel of light. Even the devil was not born evil. No men married you with an agenda to mess you up. They were once angel of light, but the woman. Right now, your husband has got underground deals. Things that he's doing underground. If you see your husband getting to a level where he's doing even business privately, then know that she's married to somebody who increased the poison in him. You ask himself that, what do I gain from telling her? She's not going to discourage me. Already there's a manual in the house, well known, that if I talk about this, this is what she will say. Your husband has become your prophet. She can tell others that, wait. She's going to say 1, 2, 3, wait, let's go. After your statement, you tend to people say, I told you. Say, are you a prophet? No, I know this woman. I'm not starting today. There's a past, previous experience. Crazy serpents were not coming from the devil, but from God. It's a blessing of marriage that came from God, but it was carrying poison. A business idea from God might not come clean. It might have poison in it. If you don't know how to protect yourself from the poison. Saying, I'll take everything because it's coming from God. Everything because it's coming from God. You eat poison. Fish is made by God, but if you don't know how to eat it, you choke yourself. You die. But is it not a blessing? It's a blessing. You don't eat everything from it. There are certain things you throw away knowing that I'm throwing God's creature. There are certain parts that you throw away knowing that this part, if I eat this, I die. It's a blessing from God, but inside the blessing, there is venom. Those are crazy serpents I'm talking about. It's not demons that coming from the pit of hell. No! Our blessings that we are receiving are not always clean. Some blessings we are given so that we can clean them. That's why certain men, when they met their wife, they were dead. But you got married to be cleaned. You used not to bath every day. There was no point. You'd sit down, even open a dictionary to look for the reason why you must bath every day. Oxford doesn't tell you why it's so important. For what? That was venom. You'd lift up your hand and your armpit. Poison. But are you not a blessing to somebody? You are a blessing to someone. But someone has to come with a shaving stick and remove poison from you. Not because you are a curse. You are a blessing, but a blessing has to be cleaned. That's what I'm talking about. A blessing has to be cleaned. You will remove your shoe from this corner and the whole room. You have to blow serious fans. But at that time, there was money in your pocket. You were a blessing. Someone was paying you. You had money. You were taking care of some people. But you were poison. Then one woman sacrificed, looked at you. I don't know what she saw. But suddenly, she gave in to your proposal. Maybe she saw a potential, that this one, I've got enough water to clean this one. you have to do now. Before you say, I'm the father of this house, ask to be washed first. But there's no father like this one. You are poisonous. You have to go through cleaning. God sent crazy serpents. The serpents were all over, but from God. They were not coming from the devil, they were coming from God. And Moses said, there's a way. Moses, there's a way. Make an example that when they look at after they are beaten, get that part? After they are beaten, after they marry, not after when they run away from the proposal, but when they meet the proposal and they are beaten. That's when they are qualified to look at the prophet's bronze. They are not allowed to copy your serpent if they are not beaten by my serpents. You, Moses, become their example. Make sure that your serpent is on a pole where everyone can see. When they are beaten, they don't encourage each other in the Lord and say, that's what is happening everywhere. Even our neighbors are being beaten. Auntie so-and-so is being beaten. No, they look at prophets. If prophet is not being beaten, then why are you biting each other? People, in short, as I close, let me say, I'll continue tomorrow. Let me say this. If you had known Moses, whose serpent is on a pole, you wouldn't be praying unto God to remove the problems that you have. Because the same problem you have is the same problem that you have, is the same problem that you have. Those are the common problems everywhere. But God is saying to Moses, take your bronze serpent, put it up on a pole, so that they can see it from a distance and ask themselves that why are we being beaten? It's not a lifestyle. There is a serpent of bronze. It's not biting anyone. It's peaceful. Right now, you are encouraged to aim higher in life, not because you've got a brother who aimed higher. Not because your parents, biological parents, aimed higher, but because somebody came your way with a lifted bronze serpent and he told you that this is not life. It doesn't matter the rest of the people are living like that. There is a better life than this one. What did God say to Moses? He said, make it shiny, polish it before you lift it up. It's a polished lifestyle. That when you visit Moses at night, the same you see during the day is what you see at night. It's polished before it's lifted. Which means no one can be raised by God if it's not yet polished. God brings you to his people so that you can be an example after he polishes. I cannot come here and start to suffer to an extent that I'll be kicked out of the house. When you are being kicked out of the house, you stay.